Hello, hello, hello. I am Spiritual Life Coach Patricia Booker here with Kingdom Business, where we are empowered, where we heal, we get delivered, and we get free. We know who we are. We elevate our minds and our spirits and raise and expand our consciousness to ultimately walk in our true divine purpose and power, and that is the truth of who God has created us to be. And so you all, first, I would like to take the time to say thank you, thank you, thank you for viewing my videos, for the likes, for the subscribes, for the shares, for all of the financial contributions to my channel, all the seeds you sow into my ministry, for all of the booking consultations and everything you do to contribute to my channel. I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. It really means so much to you, to me, maybe to you too. You know, everything that you do. Yeah, so okay, as you already know, and if you don't know, now you know, I am here to drop this beat, this word, this message. Yeah, so I'm just going to take my time here and talk to you all about something that's been on me. And it's really, okay. It's something that I don't care to continue to talk about. You know, I've expressed that to God. I'm going to do whatever God tells me to do. But this is something He wants me to talk about. And it's like, I'm kind of hoping to take a break from it, this kind of a thing. But, you know, He was really like telling me to just come share this. And, you know, Saturday, I went through this whole little thing of just being tired of just, you know, just whatever, just crazy stuff, just everything going on in the world or whatever. It's like I just kind of checked out and was like, God, I just want to take a break. I was even like, I wanted to take a break from doing this, you know, recording videos for a minute, just to get a minute to just, you know. And so that was Saturday, and God said, well, rest, take a break. So I did. Sunday, I wake up and God had me working. I even recorded a video Sunday, which I rarely do, because I just don't record on Sundays. Sundays I've been instructed to just, you know, take, you know, rest on Sundays. Do not record. And then I just, you know, receive, you know, on Sundays. And allow myself to be ministered to. I'm ministered to every day, but I just should tend to take a break on Sundays. Every here and there, God will move me to, you know, do a video on a Sunday. It's very rare though, but I have. So what had happened was, on Sunday, God had me making calls, doing all kind of stuff, had me working. So I'm saying that to say, I asked God when He got to running down all this stuff to me Sunday, after He said rest, I said, I thought you said I could rest. And God said, you did. He said, you did. I guess Saturday was my rest day. So, since then, it's like every day, He been moving me. Every day since Sunday. Just giving me stuff to speak on. Not that I'm not always been spoken to, shown things, but I'm not always moved to do a, you know, a video, record something and, you know, post a video about it. So it's been very interesting. So this subject matter in itself is like, like I said, I'm big on getting the word out whenever God is moving me to, mainly because God, He, you know, He has His purpose in everything He does. I'm one who like to talk about more pleasant, uplifting, encouraging things, moving forward. But I'm also aware that we have to be aware of the enemy and things and tricks and tactics, you know, and exposing it. So sometimes it needs to be spoken, and sometimes people need to hear it because it might ring a bell or speak to them. So I'm very adamant about being obedient to when God tells me to do something, regardless of how I feel about it. I get with the program, you know, of what He's talking about. So this is surrounding this whole same thing about them enemies. Those ones that just be on crazy with you. They're jealous. They may have tried to stop you, block you, may still be, watch you, talk about you, just all manner of craziness. And so where this stemmed from was yesterday, I did a video just speaking on those ones that want to be you, that are actually trying to be you, mimic you and being you in other places where trying to be you. So from that, it became a thing of they want to confuse you. So that's what this is about. They want to confuse you. Nothing new. God is telling me to talk about it. They want to confuse you because what happens is sometimes when people know that you recognize them and you know who they are, and I'm going to say that you're not giving in to their, I want to say, demands. When people are trying to force themselves on you, make you do what they want you to do, because what it is they have a plot in their mind. They had a plan in their mind. They have a agenda for you. They want to use you. They want to attach themselves to you. At the same time, they want to destroy you. They played all these tricks. They did all these tactics. They go in circles, literally. Around and around in circles, trying to do what they're trying to do with you, and you're not going for it. And they know that you know, and you see them. However, they want you to think you don't know. They want you to think you don't know what you're talking about. You know, they don't want you to trust your, I would say, intuition or what God is showing you or what you just know. It's called gaslighting in the narcissistic community, in a narcissism community. It's gaslighting. That means to confuse you, to make you think what happened didn't happen, and make you think what didn't happen happened. It's to confuse you. Doing something, then saying, that didn't happen. Or, you know, I've seen where people set up traps for you to fall in, but you really don't do it. And so they want to create an environment or a situation where they're trying to get you to say something about it, so they can say, oh, no, that, and explain it away and try to make you think that ain't what it is. People will go so far to even use, you know, other people in that. Their children. I see it where they'll use their children. Say, oh, I've had a situation where a person would try to use their child and say it's their child. And even though it may be their child, it's them too. And or they're allowing their child to do that, but it's for the purpose of what they're trying to do and get. And so they're just trying to create these scenarios so that they can have a conversation with you if you don't talk to them, so they can deny what you're saying, to try to make you think, no, it's not that, but you know that it is. And so, again, that's called gaslighting. It's also demonic. It's also a demonic activity. And so, I the other day I spoken to a person not long ago that was sharing a situation where they have to let someone know something, this, that, and the other. They're like creating a boundary, and they made a statement and said, you know, they were explaining what they're planning to say, you know, their position, should I say, where this person is concerned, that they're going to take care of this. And they said no hard feelings. And I pointed out that that's something that they may not want to say. And the reason is because these kind of entities play on words. They will play with that. No hard feelings. Because it's a thing, when you're setting a boundary, you don't want to leave room for a conversation outside of what you're saying. And what I mean by that is, okay, these kind of people, they use words and conversation to try to play and deflect and still be on what it is they're trying to be on with you. Again, I kiss her, no, no, no. They love to say no, 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 no. And then whatever they want to say, whatever it is they want to make you believe. They are very delusional, clearly, in just even operating like that. However, they want to create an illusion for you, a false reality for you. They're trying to create a false reality for you to live in. They're creating a reality, so they need you to buy into their lie. They need you to buy into the illusion. So they're going to say whatever to you, or that's their agenda anyway. My point kind of is to not even give them room to talk. So I told this person, you may not want to say that. No hard feelings. The reason being is because for me, it's a thing of, like I said, they'll try to play on that or use that as, not that it would become a conversation, but it's a thing of you have to be so, I want to say, you have to create such a boundary where you have to be okay if they feel like it's hard feelings. Because you're not trying to convince them there is no hard feelings. Because this is the thing. Their actions and what they're been doing and what they've been trying to do with you, even though you are forgiving, you ain't trying to be tripping and having an attitude, you're just basically ending whatever it is that has been happening, putting up that wall. You want to be in a place where you don't care if they think you have hard feelings. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, also, it's a thing where people, when they know you are a person of God, they will try to use God on you if they have an opportunity. Well, God, and you did. They will try to make you feel guilty because of your stance in God. See, the thing is, God didn't call us to be doormats. God didn't call for us to allow people to use us. Now, sometimes, unfortunately, godly people have been used and have been doormats. And some of these people may have already experienced that, but those people just didn't know no better or whatever. I don't know. But the point is, they will try to use God to make you feel guilty. But again, number one, God ain't called us to be no dummy. Scripture even tells us to turn away from people like that. Scripture tells us to turn away from manipulative people. Scripture even talks about abusers and how he hates abuse. Not only do Scripture say he hate abuse, he say he hate abusers. And a person who's manipulative like that, and I'm gonna go ahead and say a narcissist is an abuser. Not these kind of people tend to abuse their position, their power, their authority, whatever. They abuse everything because they're an abuser. And so God didn't call us to allow ourselves to be abused. In fact, he said he hates manipulators. Or should I say, he said turn away from them. People that stir up strife and discord and confusion. I'm hearing confusion. And we know that God is not the author of confusion. So anybody that's trying to even create confusion and an illusion for you, that's not God. So to bring God in it, to try to make you feel guilty about, use God to try to make you feel guilty about you not letting them abuse you and use you. I mean, come on. Now I'm just, flowing here. I'm just talking. I'm just taking my time and talking so I can kind of get all out what has been on me. Because like I said, it's like, it was just on me like, go ahead and release this. He just want me to just talk about this and release it. And I kind of want to move around it. Not that I'm focused on it, But it's just something I don't care to continue to talk about, and which reminds me that that's what these kind of people do. They go in circles. God was just kind of giving me how they'll just keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going, and they do keep going. They'll just keep going, and they're not even getting results. And isn't that the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So they'll just keep going. They'll try this trick. If that don't work, they'll try this trick. If that don't work, they'll try this. Then they go right back to square one. I see that where you're doing the same thing. And it's interesting to me because I've had this experience so many times where I'm like, they used to do the same thing that repelled me, caused me to step away from them, not want to deal with them. They're using the same tactic to try to draw me in. And I think it's interesting. But sometimes I'll be like, I don't think they know that. And so that's the other part of that, where when you're on crazy or on being manipulative, trying to run game on people, it's certain parts and aspects of what they're doing that they don't even see is off and stupid and doesn't make sense, because it's like this. They look at certain pieces, and that's the information they have, and that's what they act on. They use that and say, okay, I can do this, and that, and other. But then it's this whole other lot of information that they don't know, that they're ignorant of, that they're missing. And so, because they're missing that, they don't even realize what they're doing is just that it doesn't make sense and it's stupid. And I'm hearing that it'll never work. But the thing with that is that you shouldn't be running game anyway. You shouldn't be trying to manipulate and doing all this craziness anyway. I know that's too much like, right? Because there's people out here in the world that do that. Many of them. But my point is, that's the problem with that. Because you shouldn't be doing that anyway. So that's part of why you're not going to get all this part. Because you shouldn't even be doing it. So, the thing is this here. The real point that I'm trying to make here is, they want you to think you're crazy. They want to convince you that what you know is not so. Even though it is, and they know it is. But ain't that a liar? They want you to believe their lie, so they can do what they want to do with you. And they'll use anything they have access to do what they'll use. Like I said, they'll use their children. I've seen a whole family, the mama, the daddy, the kids, on the same thing. I've seen where, and it's a trip, because they'll even get mad, the adults I'm speaking of, that's honest with you, when you're not falling into their trap, and they'll show their anger towards you, in whatever way they can, able to do that with you. They'll show their anger with you, that you're not giving into what they're doing, trying to do. And it's interesting because they act out. You know how a 2-year-old throw a tantrum? That's what they do. You know how a kid be like, They act like that. They'll show their anger. And it's interesting because I've, been in positions where I'm like, you can't tell the child from the adult. They act both alike. They act just alike. The adult like the child. How you parenting the child, and you act like that. You can kind of understand why the child like that. Anyway, it's interesting. But they call themselves being angry because you won't allow them to use and abuse you and manipulate you and lie, run game, and bring all their toxicity and all their burdens and all. They call themselves being mad. Ain't that a trip? They mad because you won't let them do what they want to do with you. Won't let them have their way with you, which is no good for you, by the way. They mad because they can't. I've seen things where, I've been seeing this for a long time. just in different situations where people will, you know how someone does something not nice to you. Let's just say you were in a relationship and you know something happened where a person did something to you that wasn't cool. Maybe they were abusive, they were just not handling you properly, whatever, and you decide you don't want to put up with that no more. You leave the situation or you speak up or whatever. They will try to get you, punish you for not taking their abuse. Abusers want to punish you for not taking their abuse, not just sitting back and going with it and letting them abuse you, use you, manipulate you, all that. They want to punish you. I'm like, it goes back to, that's demonic, delusional, demonic. Come on. So anytime you see this kind of a behavior, it is what it is. It's demonic. And absolutely I don't want to have nothing to do with you. And that's the thing. No. If you have any kind of sense or any kind of self-love for yourself, you're not going to put up with it. If you ever once did, you will come to a point to where you won't anymore. You know. And so yeah, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. When they showing you who they are, when you see they demonic, when you see this what they want, they want to use your beauty, going in circles trying to trick. It's true. I have a thing where I'm like, if they keep showing you who they are, believe them. And what I mean by that is sometimes they keep doing it. So I got so much evidence, so to speak, or experience with you that says this is who you are because you keep doing it. Which reminds me, that's another thing that God was giving me concerning those matters where they want to confuse you and make you think you don't know what you talking about. One of the things that they're saying is that you don't have no evidence. I had an evidence that God has given me, and I had the evidence of my experience that I'm experiencing. That's all the evidence I need. I know who I need to prove it to. The thing is this, when I don't have no evidence, it's happening. That's the evidence. And this is the thing that what tripped me out about that. Why they think that she don't have no evidence, or he don't have no evidence, because that's how they think. Silly, petty. The thing is, you can't make me do what you want me to do on some you ain't got no evidence. I don't have to have no evidence or nothing. I could just straight up for no reason I want to have nothing to do with you. Do you understand what I'm saying? People do not understand you don't have to deal with them at all. You don't have to have a reason. You know what I'm saying? People be acting like they're entitled to you, like you supposed to. Which brings me to going back to what I was saying, and when you have to cut ties with somebody, and you have to communicate with them because of the nature of the relationship, you want to be careful in what you send. You want to keep it cut and dry and leave no room for no other conversation for them to try to, not that them trying to, you know, talk their way back into trying to get you wrapped up in their web, but what they trying to do, or to keep going with what they on or whatever, not that it will work. Why even put yourself in that position? Just keep it cut and short. That's kind of like how you have to deal with these ones. I'm big on don't talk to them at all. Certain people, I ain't never had no situation with you, no relationship with you, no nothing. I don't have to talk to you. And even if I did at one point, depending on where we at, if I don't have no ties with you, where I'm doing business with you or something like that, I don't have to talk to you at all. And that's what people don't understand. Even family. It's like, I don't have to talk to you at all. You can say something to me and I can absolutely say nothing. I've done it. I do it. Now, if they want to keep talking, they can. I recently had a situation a couple of weeks ago where it's been more like a few weeks ago, where, you know, this individual had just been on one for so long. Something had transpired where I just had to speak on what was happening and kind of shut it down. But I already wasn't feeling this person, and I was already in this disposition of I can't even talk to this person at all. Because sometimes it's a thing of it's nothing to talk about. And not just that, who wants to I'm gonna say who wants to talk to a demonic entity, and you know that's what they are, you know what their game is, what they try. Me personally don't even entertain demons. I don't entertain the devil. It's nothing we have to talk about. But they will try to talk to you and draw you in, because that's just what they do. They feed off of that. That's how they get their energy. And as far as narcissists, that's how they get their supply. They need you to feed off of. They have nothing. So I didn't say any, when it came back around and it was like a hello, I don't have anything to say. And what they would keep going, and I never had anything to say. Then when they would try to do it in front of other people, speak to me when it was others around, and still nothing. And it was confusing, because it's like I didn't even care that these people noticed that I wasn't speaking. I don't care. They could talk to you and speak to you all they want. I'm not. I ain't everybody else. If they want to talk to you, that's them. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like they will do everything they can to try to get something going with you, some kind of conversation with you, because they're trying to get access into you to do whatever it is they're trying to do. And again, if you were at one point talking to them and you cutting that, they're trying to find a way to get that back going. But the point is, you don't have to talk to nobody unless you have to, of course, and then that's a different thing. But people you don't have to talk to, that operate in this demonic space, and they on trying to play all these mind tricks and run game and trying to use you, get in your life, get on, because they see you as a source. They see you as opportunity. They see you as, they see what you, they see something in you that they could benefit off of, and they want it. But you see too what they're on. So you're like, no. And that's it. You don't have to explain. You don't have to have no conversation. I had one situation where I was shown that a person is still stuck on something that happened some months ago, and they still want to talk. It's like, it's nothing to talk about. First of all, I don't have anything with you. Whatever happened, it's over. You still stuck on that only because you're trying to open the thing back up so you can get in. That's all it is. It's over. The issue with that is I don't want to have anything to do with you. So you need to understand that. You can't come to me and talk and try to, because a lot of people think they think they could talk. It's like all that talking, and even though I don't even allow it, because I'm not finna have no conversation with these kind of people. Even if I did allow, I know what they're doing. So I'm not going for it. But that's the whole point, trying to talk their way into your life, basically, into what they trying to do. And the whole thing, again, is I don't want to talk to you, and I don't have to. You don't have to talk to people. And people think you do. And it's okay if you think I'm whatever. Because you could call me names, go with your group, and do what you been doing anyway, talk stuff. I'm okay with that. I shouldn't be that important to you. Why am I that important to you? Why are you making such a big thing out of me? And then they'll lie, act like they ain't paying you no attention and all that, and be stalking you. I mean, you know what you're doing. You can lie. Sometimes I even know what you're doing. Point is, I don't want to talk to you. Now I'm making this a little personal, because it kind of is. But like I said, it was on me to speak on this. You don't have to talk to nobody that you don't want to talk to. And it's not, God has taught me this. Walk in love. Love your enemies, mean don't harbor no hate for them. I don't have to talk to you. Scripture even talk about, it speaks in the church, but it talks about ones that causing a problem. Put them out the church. But you still walk in love. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have to talk to people. And especially, like I said, I mean, period, you don't. It's up to you. Now, come on now. Use your own discernment. Let the Holy Spirit lead you. I'm not saying just be out here foul, acting a fool, just being mean and ignorant. Clearly, that's not what I'm saying, where I'm coming from. I'm talking about specifically with these ones that's on one. And like I said, right now, it's on the rise, where people want to confuse you. They want you to think you don't know what you're talking about. They want you to think they ain't what they are. Because you got to think about it. The devil don't tell well, he kind of do. He'll mix the truth and a lie. But they got to lie because they know you know. Now they got to convince you don't know, because if they just sit in that lie, they can't just accept the fact that you know and let it go. Because as long as you're in a vicinity when they mind, they got to keep trying, or if they can, they will. That's what I've learned. They stop when you no longer available to them. When you're no longer in a place or space where they can even try that. But as long as whatever it is that keeps y'all connected, or in whatever it is, they're gonna try. They're gonna try because they can't let it go. They can't just accept no until they have no choice. And they are charmers, like narcissists, same thing. They're charmers, because they feel like they have to draw all the attention to them. Remember, they are attention seekers. They're very insecure and very low self-esteem, and they feed off their ego. So they need attention, and they have to charm people to get what they want. They're very dependent on people's opinions and the way people see them. Again, that's the way they get what they want, which is what they're trying to do with you. Charm you. So they need to be able to have a conversation. So even if you shut them down and you have no interest in them, and they know it, they still want to try to convince you that what you know about them ain't so. So they can still try to wiggle their way in to do what it is that they ultimately set out to do. And that ain't nothing and nobody but the devil. The devil want to convince you that he ain't the devil. But you know. So, I don't know. In some ways, I feel like this is some kind of a warning to just beware of those that you know. God done showed you. You know it. You see it. You just know. You know, some of us, we just know. And they know you know. But they still want to try to convince you of something else. Because they just can't let go of what they had planned. What they got in their mind to do with you. So they will try to convince you that you don't know what you're talking about. Well, no, it's not this. It was, well, what had happened? Oh, it was mine. And all along, you know. So, I don't know who this is for, but be mindful of that. And I'm just really giving right now, some people who view this video, whether it be now, sooner, or later, you're going to hear this. And it's going to ring a bell about some stuff you've been experiencing. And you're going to realize exactly what's going on. Of course, for some of you, it's only going to confirm what it is. Either way, I pray that this does what it was set out to do. I find God moving me more and more to just share my experiences. Sometimes just straight out what I experienced, but sometimes just going into the identifying the characteristics and just how these things play out, because so many people are experiencing these same things, not just these, just period, across the board. That's why it's so much out here right now, informational wise, to help people to see what's going on, because everything is being exposed now. God is separating the wheat from the tare. He's separating those who are in darkness from ones who are in light. He's bringing his people into the promised land, into the new earth, and those ones that are of the darkness, those demonic beings that have chose Satan, they're being fizzled out. They're facing hell. And when I say hell, I'm talking about even here on earth. So the point is, of course, Satan and his imps are still going to try. So we have to be aware. We have to be diligent. We have to keep our eyes open. We have to watch as well as pray. We have to be aware of his tactics. Yes, God say walk in love, but he ain't say walk in stupidity. He ain't say walk in being naive. And I'm not, I'm not saying anything to be shady, or I'm not trying to be insulting. I don't want to be insulting to anybody who may be naive or have been. The whole point is to awaken, to wake up. You know what I'm saying? So that you can know, so you don't have to continue to be naive. Say God, the enemy loves naive people because he can play on them. What I've learned is he will have to work harder for people who know. Those who are aware, those who are strong in there, he have to work real hard and break them, try to break them down, because they're not easy targets, but naive people are. What God have I've shown me, and I've seen in my experience, how this was on me this morning, how sometimes people underestimate you. They see what you have going on, and they feel like they can use you, so they target you, but they underestimated you. And especially if you a God person and you seem to be nice and all that, they take that as being naive, even stupid. And so they try you, and you're not so easy for them to do what they're trying to do with you. So what happened is they underestimated you, and now they have to work harder, which is where the lies come in at, which is where the deeper level of manipulation comes in at, which is why now they have to confuse you and make you think you don't know what you know, because they underestimated you. They didn't know how discerning you were. They didn't even know how protected you were, because they've tried all kind of things to hurt you and harm you, and nothing, it comes to nothing. They underestimated you, so now they have to work extra hard to get you. They thought it was gonna be easy. They thought, they was like, oh, it's a no-brainer, and just gonna walk up and just run some talk, and it was just gonna go easy, and it didn't, and it's not. And it's completely, if they don't stop, well, God been telling me certain ones can't stop, because the enemy is not gonna let them, because the enemy, at some point, once you're operating in that so much, you become that. And even if you try to stop, the enemy gonna harass you to make you keep going, because you belong to him now. So you have to understand that too. When you seeing people going and going and going, and you like, why they keep going? Sometimes they can't stop because they belong to the devil. And this is, if they try to stop, the devil gonna harass them, so they got to get back on it. But they'll never succeed. They'll never succeed. Especially when they game don't work on you, because it's game. And again, even trying to confuse you and make you think you don't know what you know that too. That's what they're trying to do. What you know. They can't take away what you know. They so used to doing this. This has always worked for them. And most people don't either go with it or don't care, don't have no effect on them one way or the other, or they just didn't know. But you, it's different. It's different. So, yeah. I think I'm going to leave that be. After I say this. The reason why they have to keep going and going and going and going and going, I'm going to go back to being a narcissist. Narcissists don't have no sense of self. Everything they have, everything they do, everything they know, they copy, they steal from others, they get ideas from others. They have nothing like that of their own. And they can't get it because of the spirit that they operate in. That's what they have to take from others. Even being competitive. If someone that they got their eye on do something, let's say they get a new car. They got to go get a new car, a better car in their mind. But they got the idea, even though it's competitive or they competing, they got the idea to do what they're doing from the person that they're watching. So that wasn't even their idea. Now, I'm not saying you can't be inspired by others, but in this sense, it's being competitive. In this sense, it's still, you wouldn't have done that unless they done that. You wouldn't have done that on your own. And mind you, again, that competitive spirit comes from a place of not feeling like enough and feeling like you have to do certain things to feel like something, because really there's nothing there. So I'm just saying that to point out that they have no sense of self. This is the way that they survive. Even if they have a job, even if they have certain friends, even if they have a family, a husband, all those things for them are I want to say ways of identifying themselves and saying there's something, but sometimes it's also a thing of saying, okay, this is what you're doing, or this is what people are doing, or whatever. Oh, this is what I gotta do. I gotta get a good, you know what I'm saying? I hope I'm making sense, but the point I'm making is they have no sense of self. They have no originality. They have no, everything is about taking from someone else. Everything is about getting from someone else. They don't have the ability to manifest or create, or they manifest a lot of bull crap. Excuse my language, but that's what they do, because they can't manifest good things. Even when in their mind they have, let's just say they have a job. What God was giving me is most of them are slaves. They're slaves to their jobs. They can't quit their job and still create. If they have, I don't know, even if they have a business, they're a slave to their business, meaning they're not happy in it. It's just a thing to say, I got a business, I'm doing this. It's just a thing to make themselves look a certain way, but they're miserable in it. They could be, let me see, married with children, whatever. They could have a wife, or they could have a husband, children, and that's more of a thing of, I got this, you know, because that's the thing to do. It's about making themselves look a certain way, and they may be miserable in it. Family may be dysfunctional. I've seen it. I've seen a whole full-blown family of dysfunction. Husband, wife, kids, just dysfunctional, just as demonic. Everybody just demons. Make me think of Bishop T.D. Jakes. Something I heard him say years ago. He was talking about the whole family, the husband, the wife, kids, all bound. Coming to church bound, just all bound and demon possessed. I'm saying, I'm adding that part. But yeah. But it's all about, I have to create this certain look. Because really, in reality, they really don't have, it's empty in there, it's void. And they get their feel off of other people. Even the people that they may deal with, they feed off of them. They're very codependent. They need these people to feel like something. Even sometimes needing the person to need them. Many of them don't want people that they're dealing with to do much, have much, especially if they feel like they have a little something, because they need those people to be dependent on them and to stay in place so they can feel like something, because nothing is there. I'm hoping I'm making sense, but I don't want to babble too much. And they do it by being charming. Or just running their mouth. What some would call the gift for gab. And always it's not a gift. What I mean by that, sometimes people do know how to talk, and it is a gift if they're doing it in a good, honest, and pure way. But when you're doing that in a way where it's evil and it's demonic and you're manipulative, I mean, it may have worked on people that don't know no different, that don't know no better. You see what I'm saying? But that's who it works on. It doesn't work on people who are discerning, people who love themselves, people of God who know how to know the Spirit, try the Spirit by the Spirit. Those who, the scriptures say, you will know them by their fruit. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't work on people that know. You can only do that on people that don't know. That's why it's just like, you know, people are depending on your ignorance, you're not knowing. People like that don't want you to know who you are. They don't want you to be strong in who you are. And because they can't control you. They can't run their game on you. It's just like these so-called world leaders. The same thing. They want to keep you dumbed down to who you are, to what's going on, because as long as you're dumb to what it is, they can control you. If you know what the deal is and you know who you are and you know what's going on, they can't control you. You know? So that's why they want to confuse you, so they can control you. They want you to think that you don't know what you're talking about, so they can control you and ultimately do what they want to do with you. So anyway, y'all, I'm on 45 minutes. I think I got it all out. So hopefully, I want to say we can move on, but I'm already moving on. I'm just saying, from stuff like this, for right now anyway, in this manner. I'm working on some other things so I can present some of this information in I don't know. Right now, I just need a break. Yeah, because I got so many wonderful, uplifting, good words and messages that's coming forth, and that I need to, yeah. Anyway, you all, I'm going to leave that right there. So, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I appreciate y'all if y'all hung out with me, if y'all stayed and was able to view the entire video. That is absolutely awesome. In fact, if you watched until the end of this video, and if you're interested in life coaching sessions with me, I would give you 5 free life coaching sessions if you watch to the end of this video and let me know that you watched to the end of this video. I will give you 5 free life coaching sessions. Just go ahead and reach out to me at kingdomtrish@gmail.com and we'll work that out. So, again, please like the video and subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. Click on that red subscribe button right there, down there, and click on that bell right next to that subscribe button so that you can get a notification every time I upload a new video. Also, I love you. If you're interested in my services, check it out all down below in the description box. Yeah, I don't want to go on too much longer because actually I don't have nothing else to say anyway. So yeah, thank you all for being with me, for being here with me, really. I love you all so very much. Much love, light, and peace, and many blessings to you all. Y'all, I know that was a lot of time for me, but that is my time. Jesus girl, she is out. Peace.